In 1674, on the southeastern coast of India, the French established a settlement at Pondicherry, a modest fishing village that would grow into the capital of French India. Over the centuries, France expanded its influence along the Coromandel coast and beyond, acquiring territories in Chandernagore in Bengal, Mahe on the Malabar coast, Yanam in Andhra, and Karaikal near Pondicherry. These pockets of land, scattered across India's vast subcontinent, never formed a continuous empire, but they represented France's ambition to challenge British dominance in South Asia. The French presence was always fragile. After repeated conflicts with the British during the 18th century, particularly during the Carnatic Wars and the 7 Years' War, France lost its chance to become a major colonial power in India. By 1763, with the Treaty of Paris, French ambitions were reduced to little more than maintaining its trading posts and settlements, stripped of large territorial control. Yet, even in this diminished form, the French enclaves endured, and Pondicherry became a cultural bridge where French architecture, education, and legal traditions blended with Tamil society. The 19th century brought further decline. Following the fall of Napoleon and the Congress of Vienna in 1815, Britain solidified its control over the Indian subcontinent, while France, weakened in Europe, could only retain its old enclaves. Still, these settlements carried symbolic weight. For many in France, they served as reminders of the nation's former global reach, and for locals, they became places where French law, language, and schooling coexisted with Indian traditions. The end of the Second World War transformed colonial politics everywhere, and India's independence in 1947 placed France's possessions in a new context. Suddenly, a question emerged: should these territories remain French or integrate with the newly independent Republic of India? The Indian government, under Jawaharlal Nehru, made it clear that foreign enclaves within its territory were no longer acceptable. Diplomatic negotiations began almost immediately. The people living in the French territories themselves were divided. Some, particularly among the educated elite, valued their French connection and feared losing it. Others pushed strongly for merger with India, arguing that remaining under French rule would isolate them from the national mainstream. Demonstrations, petitions, and even strikes swept through Pondicherry and the other settlements during the late 1940s and early 1950s. France was cautious. Unlike Britain, it did not want to leave India abruptly. It tried to balance its ties to India with the wishes of the local population. After years of back and forth negotiation, a breakthrough came in 1954. In October of that year, France agreed to a de facto transfer of administration for its Indian territories to the Republic of India. This was not yet a full legal cession, but a practical step. The Indian government took over day-to-day administration while the French flag was lowered. The final act came in 1962. On August 16th of that year, after ratification by the French Parliament, France formally ceded Pondicherry, Karaikal, Mahe, and Yanam to India. The cession was not the result of conquest, but of a negotiated settlement. France voluntarily gave up its last major colony in South Asia, ending nearly 300 years of presence. The territories were merged into a single administrative unit, today known as the Union Territory of Puducherry. For France, the departure marked the closure of its colonial chapter in India, but it also left behind a legacy that survives vividly. Puducherry still carries French street names, colonial-era villas, and a French-influenced legal system. The French language is taught in schools, and cultural ties between France and India remain strong. This was not simply the disappearance of a minor colony. It was the vanishing of a political entity that had existed for centuries under French sovereignty, one that was sold not through money, but through diplomacy, compromise, and a recognition of changing global realities. The French kingdom in India did not fall by force. It quietly dissolved into the Republic of India, leaving behind a living reminder of a vanished kingdom once tied to France.